Well, hi there, it's Tiffany with Ready Set Crop, getting ready to do a live process video with you tonight. Happy Sunday, and thanks so much for joining me in the virtual craft room. I am going to be doing a patriotic layout tonight. On Veterans Day, my dad posted a picture of himself when he graduated from basic training, and I hadn't seen that photo before, or if I had, it had been a long time. So I thought, well, I've definitely got to scrapbook that and put it in the album because it was such a cool photo. So let me pull out the supplies and show you what I'm going to be using. So like I said, I have this photo of my dad. I texted him tonight and I said, I'm scrapbooking this photo of you. Do you know when it was? So he said March 1970 was the closest he could get, which is fine. That's, you know, we don't need the exact date, but this was his graduation from basic training. So I'm going to use that photo. And I had posted yesterday, I believe, I usually do a graphic with a bunch of ideas for scrapbook titles for different seasons. So yesterday I had posted a patriotic one, so in case you have any Veterans Day photos that you're wanting to scrap, or if you're doing 4th of July or any patriotic things, I shared a graphic that has a bunch of different patriotic title ideas. So I looked at it this afternoon and I said, okay, I want to use Land of the Free because of the brave, because this is about my dad serving in the Army. So I went onto Pinterest and I looked up that phrase and I found a graphic that it's written Land of the Free because of the brave in the shape of the United States. So I'm going to use that, and I printed 2 of them because I'll save another one for another layout. I'm going to use the United We Stand paper pack, and I've used this a couple of times, so I have not a ton of stuff left, but I do have enough, I have plenty to make a layout. And I'm also going to be using the flag banner punch. Flag banner. This came out not this past summer, but the year before that, and I really love this punch, and I kind of haven't used it in a while, so I thought, oh, I'm going to pull this out. And because it's Sunday, Paper Issues is a blog that I follow, and every Sunday they post a layout and the hashtag Scraplift Sunday, and they encourage you to try out that layout and use something and make your own layout with it. So I am going to scrap lift a layout from there. So when I post my layout tonight, I will share the inspiration layout as well. So set some things aside and get started. This paper I'm going to use as my background, this dark blue plaid, I thought would be really pretty. And then there's all kinds of different patterns here that I'm probably going to layer my photo on. So I've got my photo here. Oh, and I pulled this tag. I thought that this might be nice for journaling. I've got a whole bucket of tags. I save all the tags from shirts and things because this one's a nice heavy duty cardstock and it's got this ribbon already on it, so I will probably use that. I'm going to start by matting my photo a few times on a couple different pieces of pattern paper. Hey Gail, happy Sunday night. I was watching Survivor, catching up from last week and having my dinner. Just had kind of a nice, relaxing, easy day. Oh, Michelle, you didn't miss anything. I was just chatting. But just talking about the photo I'm using tonight is a picture of my dad when he graduated from basic training. And he had shared that on Veterans Day. And I hadn't seen the photo before, or if I had, it had been a long time. So I thought, well, I've got to put that in the scrapbook. So I texted him a little while ago and I said, hey, do you know what the date was? Or the year, or, you know, something. And March 1970, he didn't know the exact date, but that's fine. So I'm just matting this. This was just a scrap that I had on my table. It's kind of a stone color that I'm going to mat this on. And then I will probably, I had this piece, but that's too small. But, you know, I wanted to do some kind of doubling up off center. So that will work. Oops, did I do that wrong? I did that wrong. Well, that's. 'That's fine. What happened? Okay. I'm just going to kind of layer a few mats under my photo, and then it'll be ready to put it on my layout, and then I'll build my background. I'm going to use the flag banner punch and a couple of, a bunch of different pieces of the flag banner punch. So I'm just going to, I think I'll cut this one at 4x6 as well. Just going to kind of use a lot of different patterns that are in this to build up a mat. Oh, I might save that red. Hey Angel, happy Sunday to you. So I think I'll do the white first, and then I'll do the red around that. So this one was a 4x6, so it was too small. So I just put it off a little bit. This one is like 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and I'm going to do it off a little bit to the right. Oh, maybe I should do it below. Yeah, I'll do it below like that. So I've got kind of two different mats going on, and then I'm going to do the red like that. Just kind of building some layers behind this photo, because this is just a one photo layout and it's just a 4x6. So I'm just building up some layers here. Yeah, maybe I'll do the, let's see what else. I think I'll do this light blue. Yeah. Great way to use scraps if you have some scraps hanging around. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this a little bit. I think I want it to go like that. So just a little piece. I love to layer a bunch of different patterns. And this navy blue is going to be my background. All right, now I still feel like I need something there. Well, let's just leave it like this for now. Don't go crazy, Tiffany. Calm down. Maybe I'll do a little bit of this over here. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh, I do that every time. Hold on. Drop my tape runner, and every time I drop it, the whole thing falls apart because I'm in the basement. All right, well, I'm not dealing with that right now. So I'm just taking another little scrap of this white, and I'm just putting it over here to give me one little, that one little section there. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna set this aside now and just work on my background. Oh, actually, I'm gonna punch. Okay, so I wanted to have a lot of the banner punches on this layout. So I'm gonna line this up and I'm gonna punch one out. And you just move it along and match up the picture on the base. And you get this nice banner with like stars and stripes in it. So I've got my banner there. I love that. Put aside aside my scrap. Now let me show you. Here's all the remnants. I'm going to carefully move them out of the way because in the center are all the stars that got punched out of here. So I'm going to set them aside because you know I'm going to use those on the layout, but they're so teeny tiny. Oops, I lost one. All right, get rid of all that. Now I'm ready to build up my layout. Okay, I definitely want to put a piece of foam behind here because it's a big piece and I want to have it stand out. I'm going to cut this because if I was going to use my foam squares, which I absolutely love, but it would take a lot of foam squares to raise up this whole piece. Yeah, it's another one. You know, Michelle, I'm trying to use my border punches more. Because it's one of those things, sometimes, you know, you just go through phases and sometimes you don't use something and then you remember, oh yeah, I bought that thing, I need to use it. And, you know, this one is obviously great for this page because it's a patriotic page, but this would be great on a birthday page, on any kind of celebration, if you're doing a parade, anything like that. I think there's a lot of good uses for it. Just gonna put some liquid adhesive on the back of my foam because I've got this big piece here, so I just want to make sure that it's really stuck down. Okay, now earlier I punched out several of these because I wanted to use a whole bunch of them and I didn't want you to have to suffer through all of that punching. So I'm going to have a bunch coming this way and then some coming up this way. So I'm going to cut this one right about there. And I'm going to get my repositionable adhesive for this. Just kind of stick that down. I also pulled out this ribbon. Well, I didn't pull it out. This was sitting on my table because it was in a bouquet of flowers that I got from my son's senior night game. And I thought, you know, I don't use ribbon a lot in my layouts anymore. There was a time that I used ribbon all the time and I just haven't used it in a long time. And this is perfect. It's the right color for this and it's sheer and it's the exact same color as the background. So it's not going to take away from the layout. So actually what I'm going to do is pull that piece up and I'm going to put a piece of ribbon down first. Turn this, I want the ribbon to go like this. So I'm putting adhesive down, tucking the ribbon underneath here, and I want it to be kind of mushed down on here, like not perfectly straight. That's good. And now I will put more adhesive on my banner and lay my banner back down on top of the ribbon. Now that, it's very bumpy with the ribbon and the, not very bumpy, but it's bumpy. So I'm going to take my Tim Holtz stapler, which I haven't used in a while, and I'm going to staple it in a couple of spots just to make sure that ribbon is stuck down. Flip that over and just trim off the extra. Okay, so it's not too crazy. It's kind of subtle, kind of ish. I'm going to add some more banners. I'm not going to do ribbon in all the banners though. I'm just doing it probably one here and one over there because this is a festive layout. My dad was just a month away from his 20th birthday in this photo. young guy. This is the perfect way to use your repositionable adhesive because, you know, if you're not 100% sure where that banner is going to get placed, if you need a little bit of wiggle room while you decide where it's going to go. And there's a lot of holes in this banner, so I can put down the adhesive easily. Okay. Yeah, very young. He was off to Vietnam. So I'm going to do the same thing with the ribbon over on this side. Cut another piece. So if you get ribbon in from gifts and things like that, I have a drawer in my craft room that I save all that kind of stuff, and kind of fun to use it sometimes. I just don't think of, I used to add fibers and ribbons and twines and fabrics all the time to my layouts, and I just haven't done that in a while, but it's really fun to just add a little bit of something. This is a little something without getting too crazy, you know? So just put the adhesive down, and now I'm just smushing my ribbon into it. And then I can take these border pieces and lay it down right on top. Yep, my dad turned 72 last April. So I'm doing the same thing with my banner, just on this side it's tucked under the photo and coming out to the right a little bit. And I want it to be like some over here, some over here. Not that it's necessarily going together, I just want it to be kind of across the layout. And so it's not like in a straight line. Oh, I gotta staple it over here. And repositionable adhesive does become more permanent as it goes. So, you know, you can try something and then in a little while you'll be able to move it, but by tomorrow morning you won't be able to move it as well. So it's not like a lifetime of repositionable. So I'm just adding pieces of the border. I don't know if I want another piece up here or a piece down here. I don't think so. I don't think I really love that one up there either, so I'm going to pull that one off. And the nice thing about putting this up on foam is it gives me that little space to tuck this underneath and hide that end, so I don't have to match it up perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This banner would be great on a birthday party page. It'd be a lot of fun. All right, so I think that's all I'm going to use for the banner right now. I'm going to pull out my title, Land of the Free because of the Brave, and I am going to just quickly fussy cut this. Pretty easy to do with the micro tip scissors because they're so small, so you can easily get in here and trim this out. I printed 2 of these on a 4x6 mat, so I have 2 like 3x4-ish size titles. So I'll save one for another layout. So whenever I'm stuck for a title, Pinterest is where I go. I always find great ideas on Pinterest. I'm going to mount this on a piece of this blue, because the light blue I only have up at the top of my photo. So I'm going to put some more down here. Oh, that's great, Angel. So Michelle, I just got the title on Pinterest. I just typed in Land of the Free because of the Brave, because I knew that's the title I wanted. And I just did a search and found it on there. And so then I just did a screenshot and saved it and printed it that way. I do that all the time because you can find, you know, cool SVGs and things like that that people would use for their Cricut, or they're going to print this and put it on a t-shirt or something. I just print them and make them for titles. So I just printed it on photo paper. It worked. It was the right colors, the right ideas. So I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to grab my foam squares to pop that up. And this is already up a level, so I only am going to put foam squares over on that side of it, because otherwise it'd be kind of 2 levels up, because I'm overlapping it with the photo. So I'm just going to put 3 over here, and I'm going to put some adhesive on this side. You know what I need is I need to buy, because I'm crafting in my basement, I need to buy those foam things that you have on the floor, like the gym mats, and then my adhesive wouldn't break every time I drop it, because I always have dropsies in here, and I'm always breaking things on my cement floor. Alright, so there I have my title, and this tag I was going to use for my journaling, and I think I still will. I'm going to tuck it in there, I believe, and I'm just going to put journaling on top of it. So what I'm going to do is just cut this piece of paper to be the same size as the tag. Oh, that's pretty. Because I need to cover up this, whatever the brand of the shirt was that this tag came from. Trim a little bit off of this. I could take the ribbon out and cover the whole thing, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So I'm just gonna do this. So now I can use this tag, and I will write my journaling right on there. Tuck that right there. Now I don't want this ribbon up here like this, because that looks stupid. So I will staple it down like this. First put my adhesive on the back of my tag. And if you save your tags from your clothing. Let your family know that you are a hoarder and you need everyone's tags from whenever they buy shirts and things, because you get really nice thick chipboard tags, sometimes really interesting designs, interesting shapes. Sometimes they have little safety pins stuck on them. They're always just so cool. So I have a whole bowl of things like that because I love to incorporate that on my pages. It just adds a little something interesting. So then I use my stapler again just to hold that ribbon down over here. Now I feel like, you know, I always frame things in, and I didn't frame it intentionally because I was trying not to, but I really want it to be framed. So let's see. Is that too busy? I don't think so. Oh, you did a 20-minute page, Michelle. Good for you. You know, I think that a lot, if you are a person that does like an hour, 2-hour page, I used to be. It used to be that my pages took much longer. And I just sort of started training myself, literally, to just do 20-minute, 30-minute pages. I would set the timer and see what I could do. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't think about it ahead of time. I put some thought into it. I'm gonna say, okay, what pictures do I want to do? What colors do I want? That kind of thing. But the actual making of the page, I try to keep myself to 30 minutes. And, you know, especially talking to you guys, like, not everyone wants to hang around here for an hour as I do a page, you know? So it's nice to be able to do 30 minutes or less kind of thing, ish. Yeah, you know, and Michelle, probably when you're at a crop, it's going to take you longer because, you know, it's just, that's the nature of the beast. You're chatting with friends and everything. But when you're just working on it yourself, it's kind of fun to just see what you can do in 20 to 30 minutes. And, you know, keep in mind that nobody is criticizing your pages. The page I did the other night, the Halloween page, I sent that to my kids, and my son responded and said, that page is so nice. I'm like, wow, thanks. I mean, you know, my family appreciates the stuff I do. All right, so I just trimmed a 1/2 inch off of my layout, and I'm just putting a little teeny tiny piece of this blue plaid because it's just so pretty, or argyle, behind here, and it's just kind of bringing your eye into the center a little bit more. Because I was just feeling like it was a little too kind of drifting off into nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely easier when you're crafting solo. I usually will put YouTube on, and I have a bunch of favorites crafters that I like to watch on YouTube, so I'll watch them while I'm crafting. But for me, I had to do it for a while with a timer to kind of challenge myself to stay within that time frame. And just because I like a challenge. I'm not athletic at all, but I do like to be competitive in things that I do. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of mixed media because you know that I love that. What I am going to do is just white paint. I'm going to squeeze that out on my very well used palette here. So this is just craft paint that you buy at Walmart or Michael's. And then a little bit of water. Well, yeah, we got to get ready for Great Wolf. Yeah, I've got, my porch is just all boxes. And so I'm pretty much ready. Got to just go through all the boxes and make sure everything's good. Get a different brush. Make sure I got all prizes together. I got to wrap all the candy bars and that kind of thing. But yeah, coming up in a few days. So I'm just watering down this white paint. And I'm going to cover up my photo because I don't want splatters on there. And I'm just putting some white splatters all over my background. This is a great technique for winter layouts because it adds that bit of kind of snow to your background. That's it, super simple. Just tap your paintbrush, a little bit of watered down paint. Nice way to add, easy way to add splatters to your layout. The last thing I'm going to do on the, oh, I missed, let me splatters right there. Hold on. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yep, that's better. Equally distributed splatters. So the last thing I'm going to do is I've got my Precision Point adhesive that is so great because it's a tiny, tiny little, just a pen size of adhesive. And I have all those stars that I punched out. And so I am going to just put a little bit of adhesive down and stick a star there. And I'm going to do these, I mean, not all over the place. You could certainly get carried away, but I'm just going to do a couple little groupings of these stars. Because, you know, why not? They're sitting here. I punched them out. Might as well add them on my layout. So I like that this pen just gives you that nice tiny tip of adhesive that you can add. And if this was a party layout, you could do that watered down paint technique with all kinds of colors, you know, and make it a really colorful background. I just wanted a little bit of white because I really can't make a layout without mixed media. I have to do something messy on there. All right, I could easily go crazy with this, but I will let it sit. I don't think I need to add any more stars. I'll put one over here on my journaling. So I'm just gonna add my journaling and the date over here. And then, yeah, they're a nice little finishing touch. And I had already punched them out, so I gotta put them to use. So, pretty simple layout. Lots of fun scraps tucked behind here, which I love. And now I've got my dad in my scrapbook. So thank you guys so much for joining me for this Veterans Day layout. I hope you give some technique that I tried on here, give it a try yourself. Maybe you go on Pinterest and look for a title to add to your layout. Or maybe you try doing some borders kind of splashed across your layout like this, or try tucking some ribbon behind, or save those tags. See what you can do with the tag. I will see you again. I probably will not be live again this week because, like Angel said, we're getting ready for Great Wolf Lodge. So Karen and I will be at Great Wolf Lodge from Thursday till Sunday. If you're in the area and you want to come by and visit, our Creative Memories shop will be set up with all of our goodies. There's a lot of new, the Polar collection is great. I think I'm going to use that for my Christmas album this year. So there's a lot of great new supplies that we will have. And then we have Stampin' Up! Close to My Heart and Kiwi Lane. And they will be there starting Friday morning. So come on by if you want to visit, if you're not signed up for the weekend. And then our next weekend is in January. We have 4 spots left. We will be at Devon's, at the Devon's Common Center, which is really beautiful. We were there last January. So we'll be back there again this January. And there are 4 spots left if you're interested in signing up. But I will be back again probably maybe next Monday night after I recuperate from Great Wolf Lodge. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your night and have a great scrappy week. Bye, everybody.